Hello, welcome to Renee in Tune. This message is for Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising sign. We're going to talk about the last half of August. And I'm going to tell you right now, just from shuffling the cards, I feel like you guys are changing the way that you're doing something. At the end of this month, there's something that you're about to shift directions and completely move in a different direction. You might have been thinking about this for a while already, but now is when you're actually about to just do it. Um, hmm. Some of you might have also recently gone into like isolation in order to prepare for this change because you may have felt it coming already and you kind of needed to like go into your own space to evaluate. So let's take a look. The overall energy for you is the Wheel of Fortune. So there's definitely some changes, right? That Wheel of Fortune reflects change. It's a new direction. It's things. It talks about the wheels turning, but it represents fixed energy, and so it's that transition between doing things the same way and then completely shifting directions and completely changing the way that you're doing something. um, we sometimes look at that card as a change in fortune, but I feel like this is specifically you deciding to change the way that you're doing something. I feel like you recently, everything became very active for some time, and you may have spent the last couple of weeks of the month being more to yourself and more in isolation because you've been contemplating and evaluating kind of this decision that you're making, and you're choosing to now just do something differently and move into a different direction. The Justice card and the World card are coming up for you. So I feel like you made this decision in order to kind of bring something into balance that you feel was just kind of ongoing. I'm getting this like run on sentence energy where you feel like something was just kind of happening and it wasn't that big of a deal, but then maybe it went unaddressed and it was happening to a point where now it became a continuous thing that you are now needing to address. So it's that kind of energy, right? The World card is all about coming to the end of a journey or the completion of a chapter. So it's like you came to a point now where something was just kind of like continuing on that you feel is no longer able to continue on with this world energy. So now you're going to change it. You're going to start something new. This is setting something into balance for you, bringing something into you know um you're setting something right here. It's like something went off and now you're setting something right. I'll tell you, I feel like this is connected to your relationships. So many of you may have been like just very active in your connections, very active in your relationships for a long time. And the last couple of weeks, you may have found yourself kind of pulling away and going into your own space, going into isolation and spending time with yourself as of late. Maybe feeling overwhelmed or drained or whatnot. Like it doesn't have to be necessarily that kind of feeling that you were having. For some of you, it was. For some of you, it wasn't. Excuse me because I'm squinting because I can't see. All right. I'm changing the volume so it's not too loud in the background. Okay. But I feel like for some of you, it's just like maybe something just wasn't quite fitting properly, or it just wasn't fully, in alignment with like where you're at, but you kind of just, let it be for a long time. And now, you've pulled away because you were like, okay, it's time. It's time for me to move forward. And this thing is just kind of like taking up space now. So you're ready now. You're ready to no longer, it's like you went into your own space so you can make a decision, and now you're ready. You're ready to shift directions. And I feel like a lot of you, this has to do with your relationships. A lot of you, it has to do with setting in balance relationships in your life and just kind of like taking certain things into a new direction. In the meantime, you guys have been attracting a new direction anyway. The Page of Cups is here, the Ten of Pentacles. This is beautiful, like gorgeous, abundant energy. You guys have been attracting a new community of people, attracting new investments, new collaborations, things that are going to build fruitfully. You've been very attractive to these things, so you may even found that when you decided to pull back and become more isolated, that people are reaching out to you and wanting to connect. for different reasons, right? But this is still not in, this is like aligning with something new. You know what I mean? It's not really in the same space as the connections that you've been having. And I feel like that's what's changing for you right now. I also feel like these, some of these are contractual relationships. So some of you may be dealing with like closing out divorces and opening yourself up to a new bond, you know what I mean? A new unity moving forward. But some of you guys could be dealing with like, you know, actually um, severing, you know, financial contracts where you were linked to someone financially, or where you were linked to someone by assets, you know what I mean? Belongings, where you were linked to someone by children even. And maybe that is now like completing, you know what I mean? You're like completing that sever. But some of you could be joining ties with someone in those senses. So you're making investments now. You may be like sharing a home, or, you know, sharing assets, things of that nature. Or even like, you know, um, joining when it comes to taking care of children in a family. For some of you, that's the case. But I feel like either way, there's some shifts taking place in the way that you're handling your relationships, the way that you are interacting in your relationships. And I feel like um, whether this is a change of the relationships altogether, or the change of the dynamics in the relationships, or what you're building in within the relationships, there's definitely huge changes coming. And I feel like it took a period of maybe isolation in the beginning of the month, but you're now kind of ready and clear about what you want to do, so you're ready to move forward. The Knight of Pentacles and the King of Swords is here, so it's like, you know, you're moving forward in this next couple of weeks ready, but also you're maintaining this level of distance where you're still wanting your boundaries to be respected. And it's because you are in progressive mode, so you're thinking about the future. Now I'm thinking about what I'm building for the future, so I don't really have time to kind of be mingling with things that are outside of that, you know what I mean? You're committed to that. That Knight of Pentacles energy is being committed to that. You're day to day doing things that are investments for your future, right? For your next 20 years. You're thinking outside of the box. You're open to new information and outer, you know, out of the box solutions. Um, you may even be open to learning new things. So now you want to get into learning new things, and you're going to start finding yourself networking and mingling with people that are involved in those new things you're learning. That could be astrology, that could be law, that could be, you know, politics, that could be new forms of metaphysics, or, you know, philosophy, things of that nature. But whatever it is you're getting interested in it, you're seeing that it's, you know, in alignment with things that you want to build moving forward, and you're committing yourself to that. And as you do so, you're going to find yourself attracting a new type of community, new people with that you've never met before, that are like into just different kinds of things. And because of this, you're going to find yourself in new types of connections. And I think that you may have not, you know, some of you may not have fully seen what was happening or understood what was happening, but you felt yourself pulling away from older spaces and and community relationships and connections, because and going into your own isolation, because you kind of felt the change coming there. You're like, okay, a change is coming soon. So you were already kind of moving into embracing that, and now you're opening up to embracing that. You may have needed a moment of like processing what was happening, but now you're finding yourself embracing those things. The rest of the month, you're going to be embracing new information, things that you're learning that are new to you, and it's going to open you up on a heart space with the King of Cups here. It's going to open you up to new parts of yourself emotionally, to new gifts that you have, talents. It's going to open you up to new, emotional awareness, like understanding of yourself on a deeper level, and also just kind of like understanding what your needs are, you know what I mean, and making decisions both financially and and relationship wise, that are for your health and well-being, your mental health and well-being, which is with this King of Cups energy. I love it. It's really, really, really solid, stable energy. Embrace these parts of yourself. Don't be afraid to learn something new. Don't be afraid to connect with people that are doing different things and that are involved in different types of projects, because you're going to find yourself learning a lot about what you want to build for yourself in the next 10 to 20 years, right? I'm not saying we got to have that all mapped out and planned out, but it's like you're going to bump into some people with some information, some things you didn't know. and you're like, okay, yeah, that's something that I think I want to invest in, and it's going to really like open your world up massively and drastically, and it's gonna open you up to some, not just people that can lead the way, can do it with you, can help, that are interested, to share your interests, but it's going to open you up to some growth in some physical tangible form, place in your life. So whether that's growing something for your family or just growing something within the community, because a lot of you will be getting involved in community in some way, shape, or form. I'm hearing music, dance, working with children, some of you. Let's look at this, peek at the next card just to get an idea. Knight of Cups here. So it's like, yeah, definite inspiration coming towards you. Going into September, I feel like you're going to find someone or a group of people that are very inspiring to you and have kind of like opened up a new, you know, window into your own emotional needs, and you're going to be catering to that. Yeah, you're learning a lot about yourself, and you're learning a lot about a new phase in life that you're stepping into, and you're going to be opening up to new ideas and new activities and growing something new. It's really beautiful and it's really abundant. There's some Pisces, Cancer, Aquarius energy here, Libra energy here, so Taurus, Capricorn, even. So these could be, people that you're connecting with, but also parts of yourself that you want to look into, areas of your own personality that could be experiencing a lot of growth during this period of time. But mainly where you find that you are fixed and like, stubborn and maybe like slow to change, or you just want to do it a certain way, you're going to find that those areas are going to be uh, nudged at, is what I want to say, nudged at, more than anything. Just kind of moving you into opening up to new ways of doing something. So if there's something that you feel hasn't been growing the way you want it to, whether it's your relationships in community or a community project, um, or even like an investment that you're working on, you're going to find that you're going to be pushed into opening up, yourself to new ways of doing something, because there's something that you're doing that's requiring some change. Oh, shoot. Honey, can you grab that for me? We're going to get a card from the. I love how number 8 is at the bottom of the deck while we're in the 8th month and the 8th year. And could it be a dragonfly, is what that card says. So it has a beautiful dragonfly on it. But I'm going to read this card for you. Well, 2 cards actually came out for you as your, like this, as your advice. And then we're going to close the message on that note. Number 43, it says, when the ones you need fly close. I really love this card. We're going to read that one first. And then number 13, all the willows know your name. Okay. So let's start with number 43. Soulmates, important friendships and allies, positive community. Help comes when it's needed. I love this. That pretty much wraps up what we were just talking about. You literally have people coming towards you that are, soulmate energy towards you, soulmate connections with you. Hold on, let me skip that. Okay. Important friendships and allies. So you're going to be networking with people who are going to be important to your, future, positive community moving forward. This is something that, help comes when it's needed. You may have been, planning a project for so long, but now you'll have the tools and the people and like, and the support and like people who kind of know what they're doing, who have done that before. Like this kind of information is now coming into your space. There are moments in life where you recognize the soul family you've chosen to experience life with. Often they feel so familiar. It's like you've traveled with them before. Some stay for a lifetime. You might find a true partner to commit to, or friendship that you grow old with through thick and thin. Some come into your life with wild passion, causing you to fall madly in love and think you have found the one true partner. When this type of relationship doesn't last, you end up heartbroken and confused. These situations are potent invitations to discover your patterns so you can heal and become a more expanded, healthier, version of yourself. Don't withdraw and simply blame the other for your pain. No matter the outcome or the period of time it lasts, your connections are all meaningful. It's how we all learn and grow. It's how we find courage to be intimate, to change, and to discover who we really are. Right now, be grateful for the beautiful connections you have made in this journey called life. The universe knows the dream weavers pulled the threads of faith to draw you together and to explore what it means to be human, to have a heart, and to know love in all its forms. When the ones you need fly close, it's a reminder that love is here for you. Be grateful for the people in your life who make you feel safe and seen and whom you can laugh with right now. They are all emissaries of the divine. And let's read number 13 because I feel like it's significant. It says being witnessed and seen by another. This is interesting and it ties right into it segues off of what we just talked about. Being understood, the flexibility of healthy relationships, interdependence. I mean, I felt it from the beginning when we talked about that Libra energy, that justice card. This is you mending and kind of like balancing out your relationships. It feels like romantic, familial relationships, and even community relationships. Like this is kind of all being highlighted for you right now. And you're experiencing a huge shift and change in direction when it comes to those areas of life. And this is, finding your people who are, you know what I mean, loving you and there for you and supporting you, and also people who are, of similar, trajectories. Soulmate energy coming in right now, and also just being witnessed and seen by another, being understood, the flexibility of healthy relationships and interdependence. So you're gonna have, like, I feel there are things you've been doing by yourself that you might find yourself not having to do by yourself anymore. So be open to that healthy interdependence that's on its way to you, being understood, and also like people who want to do projects with you. You know what I mean? Who want to build with you. It's such a beautiful feeling to know that you are truly seen, and this is a huge confirmation having these two cards come out together like that, and they both have such similar themes. Just a huge confirmation for you, Aries. It's such a beautiful feeling to know that you are truly seen by another or by a whole community. When you are known, accepted, and witnessed by others, you have a wonderful sense of connection and communication. You feel the grounded safety of belonging. These are the kinds of relationships present in your life right now, and they provide you with plenty of room to grow. This sense of connection rises from a space of transparency, honesty, trust, and radical self acceptance. So, this is what I feel is one of the biggest messages for you right now. It's like radically accepting yourself, being true and honest with yourself, so that you can also, be aware and be okay with places where you might need to allow change and allow adjustment in the way that you're doing things, because we don't sometimes, our way isn't always, the best way, and sometimes it was for a time, but now it's time to allow shifts and changes. um, you naturally invite others to see you as you see yourself, in the fullness of your expression. When you shine, it comes from a true desire to share, and that is compelling and attractive to others who can appreciate you. Know that right now you are seen, witnessed, respected, and appreciated and accepted. You don't have to look for approval, for you already have it. Remember that you shine on behalf of the divine. And isn't it amazing that all the willows know your name? Doesn't that feel good? I love the cards that started on page 44, and it's number 13, which breaks down to four. So 444, and that number always says to me that you have a lot of like ancestral energy around you, and so you could be connecting with people who have deeper root connections with you, like even that can teach you. I feel like some of you are going to start learning about your lineage, your roots, your history, your family history, and you're going to learn some of this by connecting with other people who have similar roots and who can open you up to ways of learning more about your roots. So that's definitely something that's coming into highlight here. Or you may even be strengthening your relationship with ancestors, and even some older family members, I feel, that have a lot of like knowledge and information about your roots or your connection and links to your ancestors. I hope that this was helpful for you, Aries. I love you so much. All my information is going to be in the description box, and so if you're interested in a reading, tarot reading, personal reading, or astrology reading, you can find that information on my link, and also you can find my social media so you can be involved in whatever else I've got going on over there. Mwah. Love you.